Yeah, is that the new hat? The Ivanhoe? Is that
No,
brand
that's it's a couple years old.
new? Is it?
Yeah, Flint gave me this.
Oh, he did.
He gave me a lot of.
You know
crap,
who Flint
like-
was, right? He
like
was your
till-
dad.
Yeah,
And he used to do what you doing.
I know.
What are you doing?
I'm Nantucket's steamship representative.
You've been doing that since your dad passed away?
I did since I was appointed in December of 2012.
Yeah.
And the way it works is that all of the ports that the steamship serves have representatives on the board that governs how the steamship operates. So I represent Nantucket. There's somebody from Hyannis, the Vineyard, Woods Hole, and New Bedford also. So we all have to work together for the benefit of our representative groups, but also for the steamship as a whole.
Okay. I saw you last night. That's why I thought it would be nice to have you on today
Yep.
to go through
Yep.
where we're at.
Yep.
Give us some statistics.
Sure.
Why don't we start with some of that?
Okay. It's been a very busy year. Probably one of the busiest years we've had in recent memory. Passenger counts are up probably about 6 or 7%, which doesn't sound like a huge number, but if you go year after year at that rate, that's quite a few people.
What were we the year before?
I don't know the specific number, but it's
It's been growing at
it's been
6% around there?
roughly, yeah.
That is quite a bit.
Yeah, and a big part of that is fast boats. The fast boat has become very popular. It's cheap, it's easy, and it used to be that you jump on an airplane, you'd be there in 20 minutes, but the hassle of going to the airport, parking, dealing with that, by the time you get through all that, it's about the same time as doing it on the fast boat. And on the fast boat, you can sit and do your computer.
Yeah.
You can talk on your phone. You don't have a lot of the security issues.
Right.
The parking is easy. There's a shuttle bus that takes you to the parking lots. It's become
So why doesn't the steamship have a fast ferry year round?
year round is tough because the boats have to come out for maintenance, and you can't just run it all the time.
And it's not feasible to go up against the High Line too? I mean, with two fast ferries in the wintertime?
It's really not. There's not enough people for that.
Got it.
And maybe at some point, if we keep going the way we're going, it's possible. Especially with sports teams, all the sports teams from the schools
True.
are on the boats now, and they're able to leave school at 1 in the afternoon, go off and play a game, come back the same day or same evening on the fast boat, and it's cheap, it's easy. Again, it's really the way to travel these days.
You got it. I can't imagine doing it any other way. I love
That's
riding
right.
the boat.
Although now, because the fast boats have become so popular, there are people that want to sort of slow down and go back onto the
and
traditional
I like
boat.
that one too.
That's right.
Sometimes that's
right.
just, I got to do it, and
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
which brings us to that boat.
Sure.
How's that one doing?
That boat's doing very good. We've come a long way with things like Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has been a huge problem up until recently because the distances that we're talking about and the way that the system works, it's very difficult, even in today's technological age, to sit on a boat out in the middle of 20 miles out at sea
Yeah.
and be connected on the computer. We've addressed a lot of that. It's come a long way. Like I said, we have people that actually go on the boats to test the system, make sure that the signal is strong, that there's connectivity, and when people have issues, they can call the steamship or text or email if that's possible, and we address it quite quickly.
Okay. My understanding, not to dwell on Wi-Fi too much, is that once you get halfway between Hyannis and here, you got to pick up this one.
That's right. It goes from both sides.
And
so
then you're going to have a dropout there for a little
there's
bit.
a little sketchy area in the middle,
Okay.
but it usually is not significant.
Yeah, okay.
So
So how about the numbers on the flow boat?
slow boat numbers are up also, and I think a lot of that is spillover from the fast boats, and people are just bringing more people in their cars. So a family of 4 or 5 all comes together. A lot of times they'll just stay and go on the slow boat, but it's also a cost issue.
Sure.
So there are a lot of people that if you leave here at 6:30 in the morning, you get to Hyannis at 8:45. which if you take the Highline's fast boat, you leave at 7:45, you get there at Hyannis at the same time, but you're paying half as much by taking a slow boat.
Exactly.
So there's a cost factor.
There definitely is.
And you're still getting there at the same time. It's just a little,
And how about truck traffic? How's that looking?
Truck traffic is up quite a bit. And I think a lot of that is because of big construction projects. We had the Stop and Shop, the Boys and Girls Club was redone. And then coming down the road, we're going to have the hospital. We're going to have these other big projects. So trucks are going to continue for some time. A lot of the fuel that's coming to the island now is on trucks instead of barges. So that plays
Why did
into
we
it
change
a lot.
that idea?
It's I think it's a combination of things, but it's because the tank farm is downtown. The barges have to come in downtown at the boat basin, and it's become apparent that that's an older way of doing things.
Those people that have those giant yachts don't want to see.
They don't want a fuel barge coming in with the potential for something catastrophic happening at any point in time.
Okay.
So,
what about looking forward and boats and things like that?
Looking forward, at the steamship, we like to say smooth sailing is a good thing. And we don't like to be in the newspapers. We don't like controversy. We just like to plod along, do what we do best, and just keep going. We find that people are happiest when the boat that they want is at the dock, it leaves on time, you can get on, everything's wonderful. Going forward, we are building a new boat right now that's under construction in Louisiana. It's due to enter service next April, so in time for next summer. And it will start service, right now we're predicting it'll start service on the Vineyard to fill in for some boats over there, and then it'll probably come here in the fall in our shoulder season to help out with freight traffic mostly and other stuff. So
Really? Now, does that mean that is it a bigger fast ferry?
it's not a fast ferry. It's a slow boat.
Oh, it's a slow boat.
We call it a hybrid. It's sort of a cross between the Eagle, which is our traditional car ferry, and a freight boat. So it looks
faster?
It's marginally faster. The problem with speed, there's a lot of problems with speed. Going faster is more expensive.
You bet.
You burn a lot more fuel.
sure do.
Even 1 or 2 knots faster. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it burns a lot more fuel. It's sort of exponential how much fuel it burns. The other problem is the faster the boat goes, the more trips theoretically you can have, which means the more people coming. So there's sort of a local pushback a little bit from that because traffic's an issue, parking is an issue. The more people you bring, the more you exacerbate those problems.
Right.